Morning. Melissa here with Build a Better Bakery, again to give you some hashtag Thursday Fave Session information. We're going to be covering the question of what is COGS for baking business. So COGS, it's an acronym that you might have seen before. I want to cover it today because I'm getting some questions about COGS, and I just want to kind of pull the veil back so you know more about what this is and how it can help you understand your business and decide how exactly you want to use this. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the comments section. I hope to be able to see them. Once in a while, they don't show them to me until the end, so I will get back to you if you have any questions about this. If we've never met before, I'm Melissa Fryer. I'm the main mentor and the owner of Build a Better Bakery, which is essentially a mentorship service that's here for you. And I specialize in focusing my 17 years of baking industry experience that's been spread across commercial and cottage locations into this type of content to help you master this calm control that you're going to need with your business, get that genuine joy building so that you continue to love what you do, and then also know how to create a sustainable income if having that income under you is important to keep your business open. I want you to know how to do that. And this is all for you. So anything that you need to ask me, go ahead. You can always email me, go to the website at buildabetterbakerynow.com to see what we have going on. We have our monthly workshop in August you can sign up for. We have a lot for you. And I'm just here for you, baker to baker. I know what it's like. I've done it for many years, and I just want to make sure you feel supported because I think it's important. So today we're talking about that concept of COGS, C-O-G-S, and how it relates to your income as a baker. Let me know in the comments. Put a 1 if you know what COGS is, put a 2 if you don't, put a 3 if you would rather not know. It's kind of a financial term, and I know finances can be kind of difficult for some people. So I'm going to make this as simple and quick as possible so you just get a really good understanding of what this term means for you. So go ahead and throw up your hashtag replay if you're viewing us on replay. And you can always throw up your hashtag live if you're here live so I know that you're watching the content. Here at Build a Better Bakery, we're focusing on profit concepts for our August Thursday session. So you'll see a couple more about profit concepts, and you can look back at our older videos from this month to see more of the concepts that we've covered. And again, this couples with our monthly workshops that we're doing through Q3. So you'll be able to do kind of profit, pricing, all those topics over the next few months with us. Okay, so to stay in the know about these lives, you can check the events in the group. I post at the beginning of the month everything we're going to be doing for the month. You can send a friend request to Melissa Fryer on Facebook. I have a public profile, so I can accept it, and then I can send you invitations to new events. That's why the friend request works in that way. Otherwise, the invitations don't go out because our group is too large. So we have to be friends on Facebook for you to get those. You can hang out on the email list for direct replay links. That's a good place to be just for invites and classes and anything that we have going on you'll know about. And then lastly, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, another free resource, and it's more of like a replay on demand situation. So it's easier to go through the videos and figure out which concepts you want to watch. I do go live every Thursday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time right here in the group. And that's just to make sure you're getting some new content. We may at some point switch over to YouTube, so I just want to make sure you're on both of those. So in case you need to, you can switch over if one of them doesn't, if we don't post to them anymore, okay? So just go ahead and get on both of those if you'd like. Okay, we're going to hop right in with what is the definition of COGS, C-O-G-S, and what does the acronym stand for with a little bit of background. So COGS is the cost of goods sold, COGS, cost of goods sold, and it measures what a business spends to produce a good or a service. And this could be a wide range of things, right? So this is not just for bakery business. COGS is used across pretty much all industries, right? So people are just kind of using this acronym, using a formula to look at how much they're spending. It's also known as the cost of sales or the cost of revenue in some cases. So if you're looking at paperwork or you've seen those terms before, they are a little bit different, but they are very similar. So cost of goods sold, cost of sales, cost of revenue. They are practically interchangeable. I'm going to say if you're really deep into these industries, you probably say there are differences that I should be bringing up, but that's too far in for this concept today. So we'll just call them interchangeable for now. And they will usually include the cost of labor, raw materials used, and other overhead for running a production facility or providing a service. So again, I want to be clear that this is used across many industries. So there's going to be a variation in the formula that you're going to use as a baker and specifically what it is that you're doing with your business. The cost of goods sold in baking, to simplify it to make it make sense for us bakers, is the direct expenses of making a baked good, okay? So plus some indirect costs associated with running that bakery business. Is it going to be everything? No, which is why I suggest more like the pricing for profit course I have, or something a little more encompassed than just using COGS. But it's going to be a lot of the numbers that you need to be looking at. And again, these costs can vary depending on the quality of materials we're using, our location, our bills, our labor, stuff like that. These sums that are created by cost of goods, cost of revenue, cost of sales, these sums are key for measuring your profitability, which is why we're talking about it this month. Higher costs with flat revenue, so showing that you're spending a lot of money but you're not making a lot of money, could mean costs are poorly managed. So that could be a way that you can watch your finances. While higher costs and higher revenue are probably going to show that you're making money as you're spending money, or flat costs and higher revenue can also suggest a company that's managing costs well or is highly profitable. COGS will appear on income statements. That's a lot of the use for these sums, is on some kind of income statement for a business that's going to submit or use for its own purposes. And again, it's mainly money spent on the raw materials and labor, but I want to be clear that there's other costs like marketing, distribution, insurances, things that you're likely may not be on that list within COGS that you're still spending on your business. So it is a specific measure of specific parts of what it costs to run your baking business. If you've ever taken my pricing course or looked at it or broken down your own costs and pricing before, you know that there are other categories that you need to be looking at outside of COGS, but it's such an important tool because others are going to use this number to look at the profitability of your business. And you might need to be able to use this more quickly than, to assess what's going on, rather than going through every single little bit of your what's going on with the spending of your business or the income of your business. So this is kind of like a quick snapshot, essentially. Here are some things to consider when calculating the cost of goods in baking, although not the only costs. Okay, so these are just kind of the bigger ones that are going to be included in COGS. So that's ingredients, so the cost of ingredients, right? Flour, sugar, eggs, butter, things like that. The labor, so this is the time and labor spent making these baked products, including the hourly rate of the baker or the employee. So that could be you, that could be hired people, whatever it is. The recipe yield, so this is when I talk about bulk baking is going to make you more money, baking more at one time rather than trying to switch gears all the time. So this is how many baked goods a recipe can produce in a period of time, how many cookies are in the batch, how many slices of cake, etc. And then lastly, overhead costs, which are going to be different for everybody, of course, but there are other costs that you might have, like utilities, rent, anything that you would put in your overhead category would be in this. Once in a while, it's not everything in overhead that I would consider overhead, so just keep that in mind. Now, your COGS will be an important number to become familiar with if you're looking to apply for grants or attract investors or apply for a loan, things like that. Anytime you're being asked to fill out paperwork about your business and your business finances, this number is going to be an important thing and might actually be called for specifically for you to put that number in. So that's where I'm hoping that if you've never heard of this before or you're not too sure, that could be a place where you're going to come in contact with that. Okay, just checking over to see if there's any questions. Looks good. Now, there are a number of different COGS formulas you can use. So the reason I'm not going to give you one now is because I looked up a bunch of them. I looked at ones I've used, and they're all just a little bit different. So because everyone has a different type of business. Yes, I bake stuff, but I also teach classes, which is more of a service situation in some cases. I also consult, which is a service versus a product. So there's lots of different ways that you can look at how you're spending money in your business and what kind of products you're putting out or services you're putting out, which could change the way that you're wanting to calculate your COGS. So I would suggest just popping over to YouTube University whenever you feel like you need to look this up and look at some examples and see which one kind of fits what you're doing best. maybe watching a quick video on using and generating your formula just to make sure you understand how it works. It's really just a simple cost formula. So if you've ever found the cost of a product that you're making, it's going to be very similar to that. You can also head over to our Pricing for Profit course, register in that, and get all of your costs covered in one go without breaking it down into this and leaving other things out. You can just do it all at one time. Outside of showing others your profitability with COGS or keeping track of the numbers in that way, you might also use it to determine pricing. So I've had people talk about, how can I use this number now that I have it? It could be a good way to look at the fluctuation of costs within the industry, and then when is it time for you to raise prices, or when is it time for you to reduce costs? So using that number just as like a quick snapshot again of what it is we're doing and how can I quickly address this now because I have this number in my hand. So to recap, COGS is a simple formula used to determine profitability and keep you on top of your business finances. So it is important, and there's plenty of people who rely on this number. So if you know anyone that knows more about COGS, you can definitely have some kind of conversation with them just to get used to it. I know these math formulas are a little harder for bakers. A lot of us aren't math majors. So again, that's why I was suggesting watching a quick video or something on it just to get a little more comfortable. For those of us in the baking industry, of course, that's us. Depending on what you do like to bake, let's say it's bulk, custom work, teaching the classes, selling. Some people sell retail items, merchandise, things like that. Your formula that you're using might be different, and you might even, have to separate it out a little bit if things are very different with what it is you're selling and doing. So definitely check on that. Now, when you go to use COGS in your pricing, make sure you have all of your other bases covered like we talked about. So again, just really hitting home, this does not cover everything that you need to think about when it comes to pricing because you're spending money other places. Like if you're running ads on Facebook, if you are, purchasing like mentorship with me or something like that, those costs are not going to be in there, but it still should add to your pricing because that's going into the pricing. It's creating pricing for your product because you're spending it on your business. So definitely keep that in mind. And we cover a lot of really important pricing topics in the Pricing for Profit course, but also in our monthly workshops, which are very affordable and I think are a great, fun, quick resource for you to utilize. We recently discussed the 5 pricing myths that steal your income as a baker. Really important for people who are just getting started or who feel like they just do not have a handle on their pricing and they feel like there's something kind of in their way. It's likely one of these 5 myths that you're still grabbing onto. It's very common, but once you hear them and understand what they are, it's easier to let them go and move past it. That is going to be available via replay since it's already happened, but it is within the Q3 bundle of workshops. You buy 3 at a time. It's going to be a replay in there, and that's how you can still get access to it. There's also going to be 2 more live workshops, one in August and one in September within that bundle. We're covering 5 pricing strategies that improve profit. So it's going to be really important for those of you who want to increase your profit. That's going to be in August. And then pricing psychology to increase sales is very interesting and fun. And that's in September. So you can get all of 3 of those in the bundle, or you can do the individual August and September if you don't want all 3 of them. But the bundle is a discount rate. So you can get all 3 of them for less. So it's nice. All fun topics. Each live session comes with personalized private mentorship time, so we get to talk one-on-one about the topic for the session, talk about any questions you have or anything else you want to speak about at that time. And you also get a sweet half-off code that goes towards the Pricing for Profit course. So if you do want to get in there, get everything figured out for your pricing, you can move right into it with that. You get half off. It's great. You get the mentorship. You get the workshops. It's a nice little package situation. I hope this is all helpful for you today. I know that sometimes COGS is not the most exciting topic, but I did want to make sure that you had some information about it. That's it for today. We're going to be back next Thursday with another breakdown of a common profit concept, which is what is a loss leader. I'm going to give you some fun examples that you probably come in contact with a lot and maybe don't know that it's a loss leader and why that's important for business. And I'll explain all of that to you next week. I hope you all have the best day. I will see you next Thursday, and I hope to be able to help you with your business soon. Okay, bye.